Hello and welcome again. In the previous slide, we discussed about the business model and business financial modeling and the business valuation as a component of tree as a business. So in this next slide and in this coming video, we are looking at the business model itself. So the business model is the first thing every business does, directly or indirectly, and some businesses do a conscious business modeling. They identify their customers, they identify the value proposition, and they identify all the components. Some businesses, they don't really do conscious planning of the business model. They just go and start doing the business, and then later on figure out who can be their customers, what kind of value they are going to provide. So there are various components of business model which a conscious business planner has to do. So the components of the business planning, the first thing in the business planning and business modeling is identify the problem and the demand. So first thing is we need to identify the problem statement, the solution what we are going to provide, and what are the demand for the items. So for trading it can be the demand, for service industry it can be the problem, for a startup it is a problem statement and the solution, and for trading company it can be the possible demand of the equipment. So what are those things? What is the market size of the potential services that or potential products that the business is planning to provide? Then after we identify all these things, then the next step we are doing is identify the customer segments what we are going to serve, what kind of customers we have, what are their profiles, what are their needs, what are their pain points, what do they want, why they would be buying our product. So these all we have to identify during this step. The next step what we have to do is, once we have the customer segment, to identify what kind of value proposition we are going to offer to them based on their pains, based on their needs, based on what are the requirements from the market. After we have done the value proposition, the next thing we have to do is how we are going to deliver them and how we are going to engage our customers, how we are going to acquire our customers, how we are going to retain them, how we are going to engage them to buy more products, and then what are the delivery channels, how we are going to deliver our value proposition. So some value propositions are delivered by different channels, like some websites, some physical delivery, some by a greater user experience through the app, or other ways, or by third-party stores. After we have done this step, the next thing is to identify what are the resources required to do these services and what are the key activities of the business. Some companies focus only on design, some companies focus only on product manufacturing. The trading company would be mostly involved in identifying and acquiring the products. The service industry would be mostly focusing on the training and providing the value to the guests. A lot, like for example Microsoft is developing only in the software development. That's the main key activity, and to maintain the product that they have by sending the patches, by doing marketing is something which is not important for them because their product is well known. Then after we have done this resources activity, the businesses normally identify who will be their key partners, because everything in a business cannot be done by themselves. Some are done by their partners. We will look at the partners in a different. So key resources are what entity controls, and partners are who share the risk. For example, like Uber, drivers are their partners. They are not their employees, they are not their resources, because they are sharing the risk. They are running around with their taxis around the city. If they don't get a customer, they don't get the money. So they are their partners. Resources are if Uber hire them as a driver and pay them the salary, then it becomes their resources. But then it may become unsustainable for Uber to continue to pay the salaries. So those are that's the difference between the resources and the key partners. And then the company has to identify how they are going to monetize the value and what will be their cost models. In here the financial modeling comes into the picture to identify what can be the possible revenue models, how it will affect the profitability of the business, what will be the cost models, and how the decisions of the company will affect their profitability and the valuation. So these are the components of the business modeling. Now let's look at a sample of the business model. This is a business model of a training company. This I have decided to show off as it's not an existing company, it's just a sample that I created. So here you can see we are identifying identifying the customer segments like non-branded hotels, students and existing staff of the service industry. This business model is for a business of online hospitality training school. So the customers relationship we are doing that way. We're gonna acquire by the free courses, we're gonna do a follow-up quiz, we're gonna do the feedback forums, we're gonna do counseling. The channel of providing the training is website, app, Facebook, YouTube and other job training partners. The value proposition that we are going to give to those online to those non-branded hotels and students is online learning, quality education at affordable prices. So that's our business value proposition. And then we will do a certification after the job after on the job training to give the credibility and the practical experience. So in this business model, what we identify as our key activity is we're going to create the contents, we're going to get the validation by hotel partners, we're going to do an on-job training, and then who are our partners? The partners will be our professionals, animation making companies, who will be the platform development partner, content development partners, and the hotels which are going to be as on the job training. The revenue streams in this case will be the ad revenue, free videos to capture and upsell the premium contents, then the certification fee, and then the subscription from the hotels to train their staff. The cost in the business will be to make their website and to make the animated videos and customer segment, customer maintenance staff. So this is a sample of a business model. Let's look at another one, which is a more famous one, which you can identify easily. Is about the iTunes. So Apple. So how is iPods. So how their customer segment is a mass market, love mark, switching cost, how they are going to acquire the customers, and then how they are going to deliver the value is by retail store, by Apple store, by iTunes stores. Value proposition is seamless music experience. Key activity is to design the hardware, do the marketing. What are the resources? The resources are people's, content, agreements, and then they have Apple brand, iPod hardware, iTunes software. Key partners are record companies and OEMs for making the product. The cost models are: cost is the people cost, manufacturing cost, marketing and sales cost. And then the revenue model is largely is going to be hardware sale and some part music royalty fee. So that is the business model for Apple's iPods, where they are selling the musics. So there is a quiz now at the end. So what is the first step in establishing a business model? You can pause the video. There are some choices I have given: problem statement, market size, and the product features. What comes first? So take a pause and then we will come back with the answer. Okay, the answer is problem statement. Next question is, what is the difference between a key partner and resources? Take a pause and then wait for the answer. So the difference between the key partner and resources is you control the resources and pay even though you don't have the income, and partner share the risk with you. You don't have income, they don't have income. You don't have so that's why they are called partners. Okay, thank you very much for watching this. In the next video we will be looking at the concept of financial modeling. Stay tuned.